Wow, we're back in Viber Studios.
Oh, shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rizzo and MoMo show on the move.
Experience.
This is a Rizzo and
The
MoMo,
MoMo and Rizzo
experience.
experience.
Today's special guest is Craig Taylor. Craig is on his way back. He's actually
That's him?
he's talking to his agent.
There he is.
Yeah. He's
And
talking to his people. To call our
He'll
people.
be point where Craig's going to be sitting.
Is that a puppet on air? Can they see Jimmy?
Jimmy's there. Jimmy's
We
hanging
got
out.
Jimmy and
you're-
Calvin right next to us.
Yeah, there's Calvin.
You can't forget about Calvin.
There we go.
Oh, so
Go ahead, Craig. Ladies
Welcome
and
back,
gentlemen,
Craig.
here's Craig.
Oh, we're on?
Oh, we're live.
yeah, we're back.
This is so scary.
Welcome back to MoMo on the Move.
Yeah.
Collabing here on the move, back in New York with Rizzo and Craig. How you
Hi.
doing? How you doing?
I can speak to a million people. I just cannot get comfortable
Talk
in front
to
of a
two
mic.
people.
Yeah, I can't.
we were just having great conversation, but Craig and I have been trying to meet each other for the longest time now. How did we even link social medias?
I don't know. I think it's 'cause-
I think it was Rizzo who was
Yeah.
talking to me about the Only Love Foundation.
Oh, probably.
And I saw all the work that you were doing, and I think we just followed each other
Yeah,
through that. And
probably.
then
Momo, so Craig was my first guest I ever had on the pod. Very first episode, April 2017.
That's crazy.
Craig,
Can you remember? I don't know.
right?
That's crazy.
And then Momo came on, episode 40 or something.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
well into. You were very comfortable, laid back. We were with your dog. What's your dog's name? Diddy. Yeah, we met. Me and quick recap. Me and Rizzo met working for this app called Was Here, which isn't here anymore.
It's no longer here.
No longer here.
It was here.
It was here. And ever since that day, I told them that I'm an actor, I do this, I do that, and he's like, oh, awesome. So they were working on some skits, some projects like The Brochular, and they had this whole MTV Cribs kind of special in this mansion. And I think I was on the pad after that.
Was it after?
I don't know.
I just remember editing. I had Momo on, and I was like, her voice is fucking great.
For
I was like, this is a
podcasting, yeah.
podcast voice.
Yeah.
So I
He's
hit her.
like, you want to be my co-host? And I was like, sure. I've never done something like this, but I'm down.
All of my friends that do podcasts, you two are the only ones that I could actually watch and listen to because of your. I think it's because of the voice. I didn't notice that. It's just
The
you
voice
guys
is
are
important. That's what
yeah.
people are listening to.
Yeah, that's
cool.
I was like, because I just kept editing, and I was like, whoa, something here.
And I
And
was like, oh
and
my
then you
God,
started your own
thank
shit.
you. I was like, no
shit.
way. Yeah, I went on because I was talking about the music video that I made. I made a music video.
Yeah.
It's called Whatever. Shout out. It's on YouTube. Booby Alexa Leak, 845th Street. Yeah. My senior year of college, my friends, they were like, oh, Momo, you got to go to the studio. I was like, guys, I don't sing. But my best friend sings. I'll write what she sings. And we went during finals week. We made a song in 2 hours. And it was a hit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
so we played it all over New Paltz, where I went to school all senior year. We played at the bars and whatever. And then everyone was like, yeah, you should make a music video out of it. And then a year later, my friend Peter, he was doing freelancing for films. He was just making a bunch of music videos for rappers and whatever. But he was like, yo, I actually like this song. So because he's like, I hate the rapping music videos that I'm making videos for, but this song is it. So he's like, I'll help you I'll film it for you and edit it. And I was like, bet.
What?
So then I got all my friends to be in the music video, and I got I set up the whole thing and we raised money to pay my friend Peter to do this. We threw a party in New Paltz and got all the cover charges, and then we sold Jello shots, and then we sold we were raffling off bottles. We made $700 in a night.
Oh, that's nice.
And
Damn.
then that's how we paid Peter to make our music video. Cool. Then I went on Rizzo on the Move, and I was talking all about it, and then I think it was pre Europe that.
Oh yeah, it was right before you went, and then we
then-
were like, let's catch up after Europe.
Oh yeah, I had some good stories, and then we were live on Twitch, and these little kids in Amsterdam. I was talking about Amsterdam, my experience, and I was like, everybody.
I just remembered one of her stories. She like fell off her bike.
I fell on my face.
And her face
I took a
like
dip.
scraped on the
In Amsterdam?
Yeah, like I took a dip. Like you know that they have trams and whatnot. So also we were just coming off a trip. Like me and my friends, me and my friend, she crossed the street first, and I'm like looking, and I'm just like I think I was just in a constant high in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And I looked, and I was like, oh, I see the tram coming. I think I can make it. I literally did not make it. Like my wheel got caught in the indent where the wheels go on the street, and I just like fell. But I didn't know how I fell because I was like, oh my god, my hands, my knees, they're all good. And then these Dutch people are like pushing me out of the way because my bike, my fucking chancla was over here. I think my sunglasses went that way. I might have shown a nipple. I'm not sure. And so they're like concerned because they're like, oh my god, are you okay? My friend turns around. She's like, what happened? She's like, bro, you are dripping blood from your chin. It was like, and she's an EMT. She's in the medical field. She's like, yo, you're this close from getting stitches, but you're good. This close. And so these people, like these Dutch people, are just putting napkins on my face. That girl.
Nobody has it on camera. That sounds amazing.
No. It's very. I remember it all so well. I literally saw my life flash before I thought I was gonna get hit by this tram because I was like, I'm gonna make it. And I literally just fall right in front of it. So
I'm just imagining you like flying through the air and just landing in a wrong spot.
It was bad.
Yeah.
We had to return these bikes. Thank God these bikes didn't.
You didn't break them?
No,
Okay,
no.
Good.
No.
Was that after or before the dude that didn't some dude like?
Oh
want
yeah,
your feet?
this guy. Yeah, Amsterdam was a weird time.
Wait, what?
Okay, so quick recap. So I told you, me and my friend, everyone told us that we have to try but aside from the weed, you have to try the shrooms in Amsterdam. So I'm like, okay. So we're having a great time tripping in Vondel Park in Amsterdam, and we're just looking at the clouds. You know, oh, what do you see? What do you see? You know, like this fucking tripping talk. And then all of a sudden, this guy just rides up next to us, like on a bike. You know, everybody's on bikes in Amsterdam. And he has like this little man purse. I don't know if you've ever seen Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Mm-mm. Okay. But the black guy in there, he looks exactly like him. And he was just flamboyant. But like,
yes, I know who that is actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, whatever. He's like, oh, he's like looking at us. He thought like we were together, me and my best friend. And then we're like, no. He's like, because I think our legs were touching, and then he was just like, oh, and I was like, no. He literally gets off his bike. He's like questioning what this whole situation is, and we're just like, not. We're like, what is happening? And then he's just, you know, we're having a conversation, and then I'm asking, oh, okay, hey, what's your name? His name is Ludwig. Interesting guy. And then he's like, so you guys, and we're like, no, we're best friends. We're on a trip. Like, she has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, I'm single, but like not looking for. I know
I
should have just said I was married with 5 kids, but I didn't. And then he's like, oh, okay. And then he just like sits down. Like after I asked him his name, he like sits down, like
just next to you guys,
like pretzel style, like very like, but like he wasn't like in our bubble. Like he was trying not to be in our bubble, but. He was so in our bubble. Okay. You'll see. And then I don't know how the conversation got to like lotion. Like we were talking about types of lotion, and then he's like, and then I feel like he was describing the lotion that he had, and it was like something exotic. And we're like, oh my god, like what lotion do you use? He pulls it out of his little man purse, and it's like Nivea. I was like, bro, I know what Nivea is. And then he's just like, oh, such beautiful feet.
Whoa. You have pictures of this person?
Listen to this. So then my friend's like, bro, I think like, he's like, I think he has a foot fetish. And then I'm like, yo, you got a foot fetish? And then he's like, he has no idea what that is. So I'm just like, he's like, oh, such beautiful feet. He's like, and then he just starts, like I had flip-flops on. Like he literally starts massaging my feet. He's like, such a beautiful soul. My friend is literally crying. She's like, this is the funniest shit that I have ever seen. And I was like, I don't know how to feel, but it's a great massage. It's like very gentle. I'm just like, honestly, what is happening?
Wait, you just let him do it?
He's massaging my feet. There's nothing I could do at this point. And honestly, it was fine. I was like, all right.
Your flip-flops off?
Literally, he was just like, but like he wasn't like aggressive. He was just very like I could tell he was harmless, but it was weird. I'm like, and then he started massaging my friend Alexa's feet, and I was like, yeah, bitch, that's right. And I started fucking dying. And then he was like, oh, such beautiful souls, such beautiful souls. I was just like, all right. Then he stopped, and then we were just having conversation. Like originally he's from Brazil. But he grew up in Amsterdam, so he speaks Dutch and all this stuff. He had an interesting life.
Wait, time out. I always have questions for people that do high things.
Yeah.
How would Momo have handled that if you were sober?
Honestly, I would have been like, what? Like, do you?
And
then Alexa was like, what if we just made him up? Like, what if he just doesn't
Oh
exist?
my God, I'm never doing shrooms.
What if he just never existed? And then we're like, nah, that shit was real. Like, he touched my feet. Like, our feet were touched. And then, like, I remember when we were leaving, because we were like, oh, we have to go. Like, we were going on a canal cruise we had scheduled. And it was like 7 o'clock. We were like, okay, Ludwig, we got to go. And then he's like, wait. Like, email? And I was like, wait, you don't even ask for a phone number? Email.
Yeah.
And we're like, email? All right, I guess I'd rather give you my email. Like,
Yeah.
And then so he took out a piece of like paper and pen, like from his little man purse, gets our email down, and then we're walking where we're like, I don't know, like what if he's like known as the park weirdo that just massages your feet, like, and we just let that shit happen.
That would have been my first thought, but
or what if he just never existed? I don't know. We're tripping. All right.
I'm not gonna lie, Ludwig sounds like a name you guys probably just invented.
No, it was real. Months later, Alexa got an email from Ludwig in his broken ass English, like, but it was months later. So she was like, Monica, he exists. We did not make that shit up. It's real. He was massaging our feet, and he was like, I think about you guys all the time. You guys were such beautiful people. Da 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 da. And we're just like, what?
Amsterdam
was so like when we were live on Twitch that time, this little like 12-year-old is like, not everybody in Amsterdam does drugs. Da, da, da. I'm like, okay, well, everyone we saw, I'm not saying Amsterdam was one of my favorite cities that I went to. It was beautiful, the architecture, the canals, the bike riding, but everybody was on something. I don't know. There was bachelor parties left and right, just like coming, talking to us, and we're just like, what is Amsterdam?
You've been over? Oh no,
I never went.
Me
You
either.
went?
No.
Well, if you ever see Ludwig, you know what?
I'm not. I'm not gonna see Ludwig. I don't think
they don't need schools over there, right?
Definitely not. They're good.
They're good.
Yeah,
they're open-minded.
Okay. Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know, Craig is the founder of Only Love Foundation, and so that's like why I've been going on trips and stuff through Only Love. You know,
Joe
we
Rizzo
just got back from Kenya.
Hey,
impact coordinator of Only Love Foundation.
Do you want to let the people know a little recap of what the Only Love Foundation is?
Sure. I just feel like I did this so many times.
Like
it's so awkward. But I'm on MoMo now.
Yeah, you're on MoMo.
Short this time.
Keep it a minute.
I used to be a teacher. Then the government hired me to be a program director for schools all around New York City. And my job was to hire teachers to help me facilitate the education of kids in like at-risk areas. Like I work in Bed-Stuy. A lot of my kids are from single-parent home shelters and homeless. So my job was to have the teachers facilitate the education and keep them off the street, keep them out of gangs. Nice. And just some things that I saw there, it kind of broke me. And I just wanted to know what education was like around the world. So I quit that job, went to Southern Africa to research education. And by the time I came home, I knew what I needed to do with my life. And that was 4 years ago. And now it's things are going quick. Like Joe never been to Africa. He went to Africa twice this year, which is crazy.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm next.
Yeah.
Momo's on the move.
You said it on camera. That means you have to do it now.
I'm with it. I already told Rizzo that I'm with it 100%.
So you were acting before you went to California. It wasn't just something like,
yes,
I want to and I'll go.
Yeah. I've always been like an entertainer, like with my family or whatever, and I never actually did theater or acting until like my senior year of high school. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna like actually do this and like go to college, because I wanted to go to college for it and whatever, because I was like an AP student, athlete. I didn't really go into the theater world.
The arts. Yeah.
And then I did, and they were like, yo, where you been? And then so I did like my 2 plays my senior year of high school. It was kind of like Troy Bolton, like going from basketball practice to like rehearsal, like the female Troy Bolton. And then in college, I had to like audition to all the colleges that I applied to, which was like scary. And then the theater, I was a double major. I did theater and digital media management. And then after that, I was like, I kind of wanted to do more film and television. So that's what I'm working on now. And yeah, then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to California because I have family out there, but I just also at the time didn't have any like commitments to anyone or anything like with work. So I was just like, if I'm going to go to California and check it out, like this is my time. So
are you over there? Are you studying acting as well, or are you just auditioning a lot?
Well, right now I'm kind of just like creating my own content. Like, so I started my podcast and I wanted to start it while I was out here after like Rizzo was like, dude, you should just do it. And then I was like, you know what? I never had my own space. I was like, I'll do it when I have my own space. And then when I got to California, I was living with my uncle and I was like sharing a bed in a room with my cousin. So I was like, I still don't have my own space. And then I was fortunate to meet like my best friends, Sterling and Philly, shout out. And Sterling had his own place in Studio City and he was like, dude, just... you could do it at he had the perfect setup for a podcast. They helped me set it up. They were like my first guests on my podcast. And ever since then, like he gave me the keys to his house. He's like, whenever you have a podcast, just feel free. Because his roommate was never there, which was awesome. And then Sterling would always be like the guy behind the camera, just like, you know, counting down, making sure everything was good. Like Sterling is the man. But
he's like
Sterling.
Chuck.
Hi, Sterling.
There's Chuck.
He's like Chuck. He's like your Chuck.
Who dat?
Chuck Sterling.
Chuck Sterling right here. Sterling.
So I asked because when I was 20, anywhere between 20 and 24, I was working a lot. I was in theater school in Manhattan.
Oh, nice.
Rosie Perez, shout out to her. She directed one of my first plays, Our Town, which I did at Studio 54.
Nice. I did that play once.
Oh yeah? Yeah. I guess everybody does it like at some
it's
point.
Like one of those.
I did Golden Boy about the boxer, and then I didn't graduate theater school. My last year, I went against my teacher, James Price. Sorry, James. His ideas and his direction that I should just stay within theater and keep doing theater. Don't worry about film. But you know, young people, it's like, I want to go on film. Yeah. So they offered me. I did I Am Legend. At first, I was an extra for Will Smith's I Am Legend, right?
Oh, shit.
But as an extra at South Street Seaport, the producers come up to me and like a couple of other people. They were like, tall, skinny, we like you. Would you want to be a dark seeker, like one of the vampires? So they gave me a real job. Like I was a dark seeker in I Am Legend. And then after that, I thought I was the shiznit.
Did you get like your SAG vouchers?
I did not. I needed a certain more work. Is that how it works?
You need like 3.
Yeah.
But like sometimes if like they give you a role and you
they just let you hook it up.
You get Taft-Hartley. Like you get like grandfather.
Somebody told me not to do it. Yeah, I don't remember why or what.
What, without paying?
No. Like you get you become SAG eligible. Because to become SAG eligible to be in the union as an actor, you need 3 SAG vouchers, or like you get a part in a union production and you like have a line. They automatically have to Taft-Hartley you. So you're eligible. So once you're eligible, then you can pay the fee, that one-time fee, and then it's like an annual.
And this was before SAG-AFTRA merger. They merged right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was just when SAG was SAG and AFTRA was just TV.
Yeah. Right, and a lot of people kind of like got grandfathered in through because of the merging.
That's annoying.
That was
But now I think it had something to do with that. Somebody told me not to do it because of choosing. I don't remember what it was.
A lot of people also tell you not to join SAG too early because then you can't really do non-union gigs anymore.
Which is a lot of those, especially today.
And if you want to develop your reel and you don't have like much content, like you kind of don't want to have to like restrict yourself. But once you are in the union, you do get paid more for work that you do. Like let's say we were both background actors on I Am Legend, and I was non-union, you were union. You're gonna get paid more for being there than by the hour than what I'm getting paid. Yeah. And then the union, you just get better like roles. Like there's more.
Damn, the union actors must have got paid a lot then, because we worked 4 weeks, only 2 days a week, and I made $4,000.
Dang.
Yeah, in January. It was cold though. It was brick.
Shit,
like it was so cold. Will Smith got on the top of a tank and he started singing "Summertime" just to be funny. His song "Summertime" because it was mad cold. And he started singing "Summer, Summer, Summertime" to like make everybody feel good.
I fucking love Will Smith.
Yeah, he's the man.
I want to get in. I want to know, like, what if I'm in an independent movie that gets picked up and like distributed nationwide in the movies? Do I still have to pay to be in SAG, or like will they just like, no, you need to be because now you're.
I don't know how.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want to pay. That's what I'm saying.
You gotta pay.
No.
You gotta pay.
Seems like you gotta pay your dues.
You gotta pay your dues.
Like, what if, like, all these big actors, like, what if they just never applied and, like, they just kept doing these movies? Like, SAG's going to be like, you have to be in SAG.
Yeah.
Well, it's a union,
But
so
they're going to force you to pay? No. Pay for me and I'll be in SAG.
I mean, I'm sure that's happened before.
Yeah, I'm sure people get sponsored by.
Like,
yeah,
listen.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we need you. We'll pay. We'll cover your.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
That's what I'm looking for.
I thought you meant like not being a part of it at all. But there's like,
I would be cool with that.
There's like so many like I'm sure legalities about it that it's just easier to have representation by a union.
I think it's like if you want SAG actors in your movie, you have to. It has to be like a SAG production. Like it has to be through SAG. That's how it's been with the other movies that we've been doing.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
The reason I asked was because so I was a part of Avalon Artist Group. I spelled it wrong. Avalon Artists, and they're also in LA. I don't know if are you looking for representation? Because they do SAG and non-SAG. Like they send you out a bunch of stuff. Avalon sent me out on so much stuff. Through them, I was Grumpy Bear in a Care Bears movie, voiceover.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and I was in a Star Wars video game as well as some dark Sith. I have a picture with the whole cast on my Instagram
so cool.
that we did that. And then that's when I tried to go into film and audition for everything and never got anything. But then I needed money, so I stopped acting and took my ass back to school. So I stopped it. But
yeah, it could be disheartening.
Yeah,
it could be a little. That's why you got to create your own.
You know what's more disheartening about the whole thing is seeing people that you like started with that are crazy. Now I don't know if you watch Gotham, the Batman show.
Yeah.
Chris Chalk, the guy that played Lucius Fox, is my friend.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
No way.
we did jujitsu together. I actually met him at a jiu-jitsu tournament back in the day, and he just made the switch from here to California after finishing that Netflix film When They See Us.
He was in When They See Us too.
Yeah, he was one of the guys in When They See Us, and then him and his wife they moved over to California. Andrea Petronudo. She changed her name. Andrea Navarro, I think her name is. She's the mom on, I never watched it, sorry. Jane the Virgin. I don't know if you watched Jane the Virgin, the mom.
Yes.
Andrea Petronudo.
I love that show.
She did my first headshots. We had the same teacher, James Price. Yeah, she was.
Nice.
Like I literally went to her house in like Westchester, hung out with her husband, her 2 kids.
No way.
She got in my car. We drove around, take my headshots. So we had the same theater teacher. This guy, Otto Isando, he's in a bunch of things. I don't even know where to begin. Yeah, look him up. And this funny lady, Sharon Wilkins, she's in like Bad Boys 2. You remember Bad Boys 2 distinctly or no? I feel like everybody knows it. So remember they went into the video store where they sat down in a room like us, but they had porno playing on the videos, and this lady covered her kids' ears, and she's like, "What kind of freaky ass shit y'all playing here?" That's Sharon Wilkins. She's like an actor in everything. I wasn't there to school with her, so like to see all of them
so
big,
cool.
like damn, if I just kept going, maybe I'd be somewhere else.
Everybody has their own like journey too.
Yeah,
like, how they're gonna get there, but you just gotta be consistent with it. And
you wouldn't have started Only Love though if you went.
No, I'm much happier now for sure.
Yeah, we got to get them on some trips though.
I'm gonna sing Chris because he's popping. I'm gonna sing Chris and his wife a bunch of merchandise, and finally asked him one day. I got so mad that they moved to California out of nowhere. I was like, "Bro, where'd you go?"
Yeah, remember?
Like he just made the move.
You.
He made the move. Yeah. So,
dude,
that's
in
film.
LA, there's just constant. I mean, not that there isn't constant work out here in New York, because there is. It's just like.
Yeah, what's the biggest difference you've noticed so far?
That's my question too.
Like
from here and there in
career-wise.
Yeah.
First things first, like I just think that I am just as productive as I was in New York. Out there, just less stressed. Like
better weather.
Makes sense.
The weather is like the biggest game changer, and I just feel like I can get more things. I mean, the traffic is kind of the biggest blow out there. It's trash. Like I fucking hate LA traffic.
What? Worse than Manhattan for traffic?
Oh yeah, really? It's just traffic for
That's
longer.
what they say. Yeah.
It's just traffic for longer. And then, like, I don't have the option to just take a subway or just walk or just Uber because it's like, I mean, you can Uber. It's just
Same
fucking
traffic
expensive.
anyway.
Yeah, you're sitting there anyway. But here, I kind of just wasn't, in New York, I just wasn't focused just because I was trying to do a billion things at once. Like, I was working, like, 4 jobs. I was bartending, a sales rep, and then, like, picking up, like, brand ambassador gigs or catering gigs, and then, like, partying when I was free. Like I wasn't like, because if it's not my family, it's my friends. If it's not my friends, it's my family. And like I just felt like I was like kind of stuck, and I was just like, I gotta go, like it's time. And then when I got to California, I started my podcast. I started writing, and then I just like picked up like random like background roles. And but in New York, I did film my first feature that's on Amazon Prime. It's called One More Thing.
I didn't even know that. What the hell?
Yeah, it's out there.
You produced it?
No. My friend OJ Reyes, he was the director, screenplay writer. He's actually helping me with the script that I'm writing now. Like he kind of helped me set the template up, but he's fucking dope. He's from Jersey, also Dominican. And yeah, I think his thing is Red Sky Studios. And
what's the movie about? Like, what was your role in it?
So I played the sister. I felt like was like the comic relief for the movie, because my brother, he kind of like fucked a lot of people over. And then he made billions with like this company, then like fucked everyone over. And then he kind of left my family when we needed him the most, because my mother got ill. And like had to be like housed, like, and she had like a stay-at-home nurse, and all that good stuff.
Are we talking real life? Hold on.
No, this is the movie script. This is the movie script.
Your brother became a billionaire,
and then he just, I don't even have a brother. Shit, I'll be like, just give me one, just give me 1 billion. But then he comes back and is like going on this journey, like giving all the people that he fucked over like these letters, and all these people like kind of want to kill him though. And on this journey, like his like ex-girlfriend does this whole thing with him, because his ex-girlfriend is like friends with my mom. Like she kind of grew up with us. And then in the end, he comes back home, but my dad like kind of didn't want to see him. And then the nurse that's my mother's nurse, like at home, like who takes care of her, like I'm a lesbian in this, and I'm hooking up with my mom's nurse. Like that, that was my role. And then like I kind of was just like the favorite child, because you know I was there at home while my brother was being a dickhead and like leaving us behind, and then he comes back and whatever.
You were the lead?
No, I was like a supporting role.
Yeah, it was
a small role. I had some good lines.
I gotta watch.
You ever think about writing? Well, you write like, but making your own films like Joe did.
Yeah, I'm writing now. Like I've never written a script before, but here I am just pretending like I know what I'm doing. But like I have people like who are that I can collaborate with, and like I have someone who's like down. He loves my movie idea and like is down to help fund it. Like he just funded a short film that was put in a festival. I don't know, but like they won. Like they were the number one. So he's like, Monica, 2020. I got you. He's like, maybe you should make it a short film instead of like a big film. But I feel like my topic is just so like heavy. Like I can't condense it into a short.
Is it written yet? You like your?
I'm like in the process, but I'm really like January till like March. I'm gonna just like I have like this program that I have in my head. I'm gonna just like write for 2 hours every day and just get this shit done. And because there's a screenplay competition, I forget what it's called, but the deadline's March, and it's an international competition, and like I think they choose 5 screenplays, and of those 5, if you win $35,000. So that is my goal for this year. I mean, like we'll see. It's just a lot. But
how many hours a day did you guys write?
Probably like at least 3 to 4 or 5 days a week.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's not like constant writing. Like we would take breaks.
Yeah,
eat. And, like,
I'm not a writer.
I'm not a writer either, but I'm gonna just do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, because like once I write it, have it all down, like my friend OJ, he's gonna help me like format it, or I have people who I've written who will help me format it to like the proper script way. I mean, they're all just like, just get it down, get it down on paper. And I'm also like part of this like network in California called Oye Dímelo, which is a Latinx community where all like the artists in there are Latino. So we got Latin DJs, art actors, writers, directors, all that good stuff. Cool. So if OJ's busy, I got them. That'll help me out, and hopefully we get this thing off the ground.
You will. Just keep at it. Like
biggest thing, Ian Niles, the guy, one of my friends, he makes movies. He said, just do it. Like me and Tommy were talking about like how to do it or if to do it or not. He's like, Nah, just do it.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do is just do it.
Yeah, literally.
Like, that's
It's
the
just
easiest
the
part.
hardest part.
I know.
Just
Yeah.
fucking do it.
It's just,
Yeah.
and
Yo,
Will
Nike
Smith
couldn't
says
have
that shit
created
too.
a better tagline. Just do it.
Yeah. Seriously.
Will Smith says that too. You ever see that that interview? He's like on like Jay Leno or one of those talk shows when he was young.
Yeah.
And he was it's like a meme now, but he's like, what's your best advice for people out there that don't know what they want to do with their lives? He's like, man, all you got to do is decide. Decide what you want. And then once you decide, it all gets out of the way for you.
You know what's so funny about that? So we heard that all our lives, right? Like, do what you love and, just make sure you keep at it and be persistent and you'll get there. I used to be like, that's not advice. Like, I can't, what do I want? I don't know. And when I figure out what I want, okay, I want something to do with sports. Like, how am I going to, what are the steps to do that? But now hearing those things, they were like absolutely right. Like if I try to explain that to somebody else, I'll be like, you just decide. Like, seriously, because like once I outcasted myself from like old friends and just was by myself, I created what we're doing now. Just like by not caring what anybody else thinks, not having anybody else's opinion, literally just doing it. Yep. And this joint is growing pretty crazy. I'm
awesome.
scared.
So how far along are you in this Only Love Foundation?
Scary far. So we're 4 years in, which is not a lot of time, but the things that we have done, everybody's always like, how the hell did you guys pull this off in such a short amount of time? And, going back, David made our logo. And after making the logo, he's like, one day this is going to grow out of our hands to where we can't we can't do this by ourselves. And that's the phase we're in now. So I started by building up a school in South Africa, which Joe came to in Soweto. It was already a school there, but these kids had like pissy clothes that they've been wearing for weeks. No school supplies. The crayons were like nubs and like dirty. So I gave a lot of money to that school. For school supplies and uniforms and everything. And that was 4 years ago when I went. We just went in January, completely transformed. Like when I went there,
it was nice.
I had my mind on showing them so many things that were like shitty when I went that I was like excited to show them. Everything changed. And just to see that the school developed after I made an impact there is crazy. So after that,
that's great.
Somebody introduced me to this place in Western Kenya called Homa Bay where the kids only ate once a day. And then they played sports, and they weren't promised another meal for the rest of the day.
That's wild.
And not to mention, they were in a school made out of metal, and in Homa Bay is always over 100 degrees. And schools made out of metal is a natural heat conductor, so they're inside burning up. So came home, raised the money to build a school. Then I figured out, wait, building a school is cool. We got them out of a crappy school into a nice one, but they're still learning the same crap that they've been learning since the 80s. So what's the issue here? Issue is hunger. So we built the permaculture farm where now we grow thousands of fruits and vegetables and nobody's hungry. They have to sell the surplus of fruits and vegetables. So now they're making money. So we ended hunger and poverty in Western Kenya. So after that, I was like, that's what we need to do now. When we build a school, we need to fix a community issue. So that's where Kibera comes in, which is the largest slum in Africa. The kids have a school there now, but they have no means of prosperity. There's no way they can get out. So we just literally built a computer lab in 4 days. So now they have technology, which we're going to bring people to teach them coding, graphic design, web design, so that they can make money for themselves to get them out of poverty. And that's working because we got shout out to DTCC who donated
Russell Lowe.
And Russell, my bro.
Russell Lowe's the man.
Yeah. 300 computers, and then I asked them, just while we were there collecting the computers, I pulled them to the side and said, hey, you donated 3 computers, why don't you guys like just build the computer lab, like donate the money to do it? How much you need? $5,000. Okay. 2 days later, they wrote $2,000 check.
Yeah.
$5,000 check. That's what we are. Day after that, I went to the city to this company called TransferWise. Shout out to them too. Walk in, having a meeting with these 2 London guys because that's where the company's original from. And I showed them what we did and showed them videos and pictures of our work. Then I asked for $50,000. And they were like, oh, that's it? Let us have a conversation on Monday. We'll get back to you in the new year. We're going to make this happen. I'm just like, that's crazy. Yeah. So I'm just walking into places asking for a lot of money now.
So what are you doing about the curriculum that they're learning now? Like, are you getting them better teachers or?
So every school that we work in already had teachers, because you can't go somewhere and build something. It's not going to last. Just giving people something that they never asked for.
Right.
So people that are passionate about education are already teachers. Kids that are passionate about being in school are already in school. We just put them into a better place. The curriculum that they have in place, the basics like English, math, and all those things, we leave it, but we add whatever we feel would help them prosper. Like in Hama Bay, let them keep their curriculum, but we added permaculture so they can learn how to grow food. In Kibera, we let them keep their curriculum, but we add in computer technology now so they can learn how to prosper and get out of there. So we just add on to the curriculum. And next we're going to build in Guatemala in March. I'm bringing
awesome.
It's going to be 18 people. I don't know how I'm pulling this off because 15 was the max, and we're bringing 30 in July. So questions I have for Joe Rizzo. I feel like I'm the interviewer now. Yeah.
Like, hey,
like I said, we had our podcast 2 years ago where it was just me talking, you guys asking me questions, and I did like 3 podcasts with you since then, and I feel like I keep telling the same story over and over. And one of the things that I hate the most, I don't want to be the face of this organization. I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, Craig's organization," because it's all of ours. I'm tired of the story being only from me. So 2 years later, this guy goes to Africa twice, 2 different countries. Mad different cities. I wanted to know, what was your favorite part of each country and your least favorite part? Let's start with South Africa. Like, what was your favorite part of being there?
Well, I mean, experience-wise, it's always the kids. The kids in Soweto. You know, shout out Benolo. She was this little girl. So we got real close with all the kids there because we were in the same school. It was like 6 days, right? Yeah. We were in 6 days. Every day we would stay with them for their school day. Yeah. And this girl like just liked me. She was like, I guess 5 or something like that, 6. And our last day there, she wanted to hang out with us. And like I totally forgot. Like I was like, yeah, I'll hang out after school, like at the park, because there was like this one park that's the center of everything by where we were staying. And I just forgot, and then we were just sitting down playing Phase 10 or something, cards, in this little like waiting area in the hostel we were in. And then she just walked in, or no, someone's like, "Joe, there's someone here for you." I was like,
"Yeah." We're like, "What?
Who knows you here?" Yeah, someone knows me here. And then she walked in. She's like, "I made this for you." Like a little.
It was the cutest thing.
Yeah. And she walked like a mile to get to where we were.
This little 6, 7-year-old girl.
On her.
Yeah. And then
awesome.
She just hung out with us the rest of the day, and that was really cool. So like that's what sticks out the most.
Do you have a least favorite part or no?
I mean,
you don't have to.
Is it the sad parts?
I don't. To me, there was no sad parts in. Was there in South Africa sad parts?
No, not like actually sad. Like happy sad. You know, like the craziest part about all of it is realizing that they're not sad or they're not unhappy or anything. Like we just think they are because they
don't have what we have.
Yeah, but they don't even care to have what we have. Almost like they're happier than so many people that I know here. Yeah. And the thing that killed me the most was this last trip in Kibera. This woman, like, the houses are literally made of mud, right? Like in this slum in Kibera.
Wow.
And they're like 10 by 10 at most.
I couldn't fit through the door.
Yeah, he couldn't even get in. 10 by 10, no light, like candles. And she lets us in. We're just talking to her about her life. She's like telling us how like
like a translator, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we did that for that one.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a translator. We have some of it recorded too. And she was like telling us about her life, how like her youngest son died, and like a bunch of tragic things happened to her. And then she was still smiling, like she's still happy the whole time. And I think you asked someone or like, "What are you happy?" or something, and he's like, "Yeah, if I have water, as long as I have water, I'm good." Like that's it. Like
that's how our kids talk there.
Sometimes it's hard to get water, but when it's easy to get water, then I'm happy. Yeah, that's it. And then this lady, like, as I'm walking out of this lady's house, and she's like, "I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray for you, like for me." And that's what fucking made me break down. And then, like after that, I didn't lose it right there on the spot. But as I'm walking like through to leave her house, like I'm just hearing that in my head over and over. She's gonna pray for me. Again, and then that's where I just like.
And then I asked him. I said, because he's crying. I was like, don't forget, like they're happy. And then after I said that,
fucked me up.
yeah, that's what I want to ask too. Like, what about her comment about praying for you and my comment about don't worry, they're happy made you like
lose it?
Yeah,
I think it's because thinking about even myself sometimes here, but like most and other people here, like how they're not happy, and like
and they got everything.
how much they have.
yeah,
Like we're indoors in a building.
Yeah.
That should be enough.
yeah.
Right.
Like
Compared to what we saw, that's more than that's
Yeah.
more than enough. It's crazy.
yeah, like there's water leaking through their houses. Like it smells like there's no toilets. They just go on the street. You know.
Yeah.
There's-
Did you see our videos of all those things?
No, of course.
yeah.
I follow.
Yeah.
I follow.
It's crazy.
That's why I was like, I want to come on the
Yeah.
next adventure.
It's beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing.
It's the most impactful thing that's ever happened to me for sure.
Yeah.
Going there.
This trip has been
That opens your eyes
Yeah.
and like
Yeah,
I
I felt
think-
it was like a trip, like
yeah.
a shroom trip. That's what it felt like. It's really-
It was a different trip, but yeah.
It was. Yeah.
I've been to Africa like 10, 11 times now in the last 11 years, but that one was literally the most impact I feel that I made. Partially because of that experience, because I never even went to people's homes like that, like we did like that. We walked through
That's intimate.
the slums
That's
of the
real-
neighborhood.
that's
We
the real
dropped off
deal.
groceries to people's different houses just to speak to them,
Mhm.
and then that lady, and then seeing your experience made me like just feel so different. Like
Mhm.
this is what I really feel like this is what we're supposed to be doing. Like we're in the right place.
That was the most right I've ever felt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig, how did you come up with Only Love Foundation? How did you come up with that name?
Oh, that was hard. So I actually started a nonprofit knowing what I wanted to do. And one day I'm sitting in the car with my friend Leslie, who moved to Alaska. She left me. She was my biggest help. And now she lives in California as well, actually.
It's better there.
Yeah. And we're just sitting in the car for like 5 hours working because I did some PI work for my father. And we're just like, what the hell are we going to name this thing? And I was just like, what is the only thing that could change the world? And we're just like, only love can change the world. And then that song by Sean Paul and somebody else is called Only Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came on.
No, Shaggy, right?
Shaggy, yeah.
Shaggy.
Shaggy and somebody else and Pitbull's in it. And that came on. I was like, Only Love Foundation is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So,
Don't
but one
get
of the cool stories that's similar to yours is when I went to Kenya with the group the first time, and we interviewed people like that going into their house, not as extreme. Angel, my friend Angel, he works with us. He came home and he opened his refrigerator, and there was like water on every shelf, and he just stared at it. And he was like, he looked at his mom, was like, "Why do we have so much water?" Like that. I mean, he told me that. I wasn't even there. He told me that story. I had to walk away
Yeah.
because it's crazy.
They don't have water makes them happy. Dude.
It's wild seeing that.
Yeah.
They don't need much. Like it's just they live a simple life, and
Yeah.
the more we have, like the more complicated we
I
make
know.
our lives, and
Yeah.
the more stressed we are, and it's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's where
I mean,
depression
like,
comes
even,
from, all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even when I go back to DR, like, and you see the little kids on the street,
Mm-hmm.
just like they're happy with whatever you give them, like anything, like a bracelet, like whatever it
Yeah.
is. And I've you guys would like do I'm gonna have my friend Philly like collab with you guys, because Philly, we had like this whole, he has his own like film production company as well and whatever, but he started his YouTube channel this year. It's called PhillyTube. It's hilarious. He's this big Greek guy who looks like Jesus, long hair and whatever, but we wanted to do this I was telling you about the Greek's Gonna Greek, remember that?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
It failed. It didn't fail. It's just that the cast kind of like fell through, and we wanted to shoot it in the summer, and then like the investors that he kind of just didn't. They kind of wanted to switch up. Also, when one cast member wanted to do this, I was telling you about the plan. Like, it's a lot of money that they're giving you.
Yeah.
They're like, they don't know if they're gonna get what they asked for in return. So whatever, we postponed it, and then he did his own documentary though, like Turbulence in Tijuana. It's on YouTube, and it kind of just shows how the people on the Mexican border are living after, like, you know, Trump and all that shit. They're all living outside, kind of like in like hiding, and they
Yeah.
like, he wanted with this Greek's Gonna Greek project, from the money that we were gonna make from it, because, you know, there's mad homeless people all over the place, especially in California. We were gonna have like tents. We were gonna give out tents to the homeless with the Greek's Gonna Greek logo, and he wanted to do in California and Mexico and Brazil. Like he wants to like do kind of what you guys are doing.
What stopped it?
Well, the Greek's Gonna Greek production that was how we were gonna make the money to do that. But like he's still like he wants to give back, and he's doing his like it's kind of like MoMo on the Move, but like it's Philly Tube, and he's just going from place to place and kind of just document. He just recently did. He wants to do a documentary series on like how the other side lives and how he's trying to help them in their community. So he did something communism in Cuba. He did turbulence in Tijuana. So like he's kind of like doing a series of things.
Like he was in those places too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he puts himself.
What's he from? Here or?
He's from Virginia Beach originally. Greek as can be, and then
he lives here.
He lived in LA for like he just moved there in January. Like when I got there, we were both fresh, and then we became best friends because we met backstage. We were background actors for this horrible horror movie. But we were ravers. It was me, Sterling, and Philly. We were ravers. Like we just whatever. And since then we became friends, and we all had like our own thing. We all were actors. But Philly, he's like really smart. He's like, he doesn't look like he would be a genius, but like he's all about like he's a tech guy. He's like a nerd. So that's how he's only 21 too. Has his own film production company. Yeah. Okay. This kid's crazy. And he's going and he's just all over the place. I think he went to like 14 countries this year, just like documenting.
I wish I knew about
like you
life
need to meet Philly is what I'm saying.
100%.
Like I feel like you guys would do. He has a great heart. Like he's all about giving. Oh, we actually did a Philly Tube / MoMo on the Move thing where we just got like $200 or $100 worth of like McDonald's like burgers and whatever. We went to Hollywood and just like gave it out to all the homeless people.
You did
around
Domino's
there.
too, right?
Oh yeah, that was for another thing. My roommate, he's an electrical engineer. He works for Garrett, and he got his job to sponsor him because he's also part of this frat who's also all about giving back and whatever. So he always tries to like give back, especially during Thanksgiving. So he got his job to give him $500, and we went to the grocery store and made like 300 lunches. Went to Skid Row, and we just like delivered it to,
everyone.
just why not? So yeah, my friends are all about giving back. So I'm saying we should just collab all these great hearts
That's
and
the best
great
way to
ideas.
make things happen.
And I feel like you can only get things done with a team instead of like by yourself.
It's way easier.
It's just way
team.
easier.
Yeah.
Collaborating is probably the
more
best.
ideas.
I've been very happy with our team now, but I've been I started off really crappy, and then I got really selective, so I was doing it by myself. But now we're back to like having a group of people that are in love. That's important.
You just need a good chemistry, good flow, and
can't just pick people just because.
We got a good core now.
Yeah,
we do.
You got a good base. It's all about
I would
base.
say so.
Pretty good.
No trouble.
Yeah.
No trouble.
So you try to help out when you go to DR, or just like give out? Because we want to go there eventually to do some work as well.
I haven't been in 2 years, but every time I go, it's kind of like to go visit family and like have a good time. But like, I'm definitely down to like actually give back. Especially it's like my country, like my mom's.
Yeah.
But
most of my team is Dominican, so
hey,
we wanted to go back.
The first trip Only Love was Mexico.
South Africa. Then I got back home and went straight to Tijuana, Mexico, to help rebuild the orphanage for kids whose parents were killed. Yeah.
That was like the first one you brought people to, though.
Yeah. I mean, technically, let's just say, first Only Love trip. No, I brought Only Love shirts to all my friends that live in California, and we literally just walked across the border from San Diego into Tijuana, got in these sketchy cabs, and went to this orphanage that I've been speaking to someone from. Cab left us. If I didn't have Spanish speakers with me, we'd probably be dead.
Oh, Lord. I don't know how Philly made it. Well, he actually had his friend who like, translated.
Okay.
He got to go to Kenya and do like... What's something with a K that killing it in Kenya?
Connecting with the K though.
Connecting in Kenya.
Connecting with the K.
Yeah, something.
That sounds like he'd be really good at
like
that. Kibera it's a place that everybody needs to experience.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Because like Chuck was saying before, like those damn commercials that we grew up on showing there's sad people everywhere, there's malnourished people everywhere, there's sick people everywhere.
Yeah.
But for these organizations and companies to go find them so they can put them on camera so they can make these millions of dollars, it makes me violent. It really does.
And find and look into these organizations, like see where their money goes towards.
Oh, God.
And like, what was the one that I looked up? The American Cancer Society.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of them, right? That's one of the big foundations.
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like looking at like how much
their
money goes towards paying their salaries, and it's like 60%.
That's another reason I don't want a big team. I just want us.
Yeah.
It's like if we make $1 million in 1 year, we could give $750,000 to our cause and split $250,000. That's great. There's no need for more than that.
Yeah, we don't need 60%. We just have to survive.
Yeah, but other companies don't. They really don't care.
Man,
it's crazy. Like how many people we're in the largest slum in Africa, the continent. How many sick people did we see? How many malnourished, dying people did we see? The fact that they can go to these places and find that for the dollar is so crazy to me. Yeah. Like you said, please, I might take this part out, like, and cut it and like put this on like all of my pages. Like, look into these organizations. What do we look up to find like their, what do you call it, the transparency report?
Oh yeah.
Like the yearly reports. Look at the yearly reports. They break down where the money goes,
and they tell you.
Yeah, they tell you because nobody looks at it. So it's like, all right, we're gonna put it up there anyway. Nobody's gonna know that 90% doesn't go to the cause.
Yeah, and like these, what's the breast cancer one? The pink.
Susan G. Komen.
Yeah, the same deal with them.
Yeah, what is it, like 94%?
Yeah,
overhead, and
it's
6% goes to actual cancer.
I used to do the breast cancer walk at Jones Beach. I went.
Yeah.
My friend.
Yeah, I used to do all that stuff.
Too,
I feel like.
My friend's mom.
For what?
My friend's mom died when I was 12 years old. Mm-hmm. So whatever. It's almost 20 years ago. Wow.
Yeah.
And I went to did the walk in her honor for like 17 or 18 years in a row.
Wow.
And then this year was the first year that I didn't do it, just because I looked up all that stuff and researched. I'm like, I can't support this anymore. I know the money isn't going towards anything.
Because what is it supposed to go?
Like, where is
what
it
is
going?
it supposed to go to? Like when they say cancer research. What does that mean?
Yeah,
exactly.
I feel like with all these cancer walks and all the donations at this point,
that much money, if you didn't,
they should come back with superpowers.
Exactly.
Like,
if you didn't find what you're looking for research with that much money, then it's time to think of something else.
Yeah, it should show like what is the money actually going towards.
Yeah,
like,
is it going to Craig who buying a flight to the Amazon to search for this certain plant that we bring back and we need to chemicalize to turn it into breast cancer like healing or something? We don't get that. We just get research.
Even further than that, like they shouldn't be researching a cure for cancer. They should be researching a way to prevent it.
It's all about preventative care.
Yeah. But remember, research creates jobs, and so when they don't create a cure, then the money that just keeps coming in keeps creating more money for people to work.
Yeah.
So it's a jobs program, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's sad. That makes me sad to hear it in that way.
Yeah.
For like some of these companies that have these fundraising corporations, let's call it, the CEOs are making millions, like $12 million, right?
Yeah.
And look, I understand that they're maybe that particular person or their team are the ones who are critical in raising this money, but the actual percentage that goes to the foundation, to helping those people who need it, that's really what always needs to be investigated.
Yeah, for sure. That's why one big thing I say, and Joe's seen it a million times, anybody we speak to, and people have that question, like, I just want to know where my money's going. And then I pull out my iPad, I pull out a USB drive, I pull out my phone, and I say, when you give me your money, you're going to see Craig Taylor on the ground in Africa with the kids.
That's awesome.
You're going to see the bricks of the schools that we build in my hand. You're going to see me and my team buying the materials to build it. You're going to see us working with the kids. Name another organization where like the person that you handed your money to is doing anything.
Even more specifically, you write like I forgot the name, but you wrote like the woman's name, Like, here's the $400 you spent on that you donated, and this is what it's being used for. Like, exactly what it was.
Every time, if you give me $1, I'm telling you where it's going. This is going towards buying chairs. Like this, the restaurant in Merrick, Street to Table, that hooks us up.
Yeah,
they just gave us $59 worth of checks, and they were like, "Sorry, we know it's not a lot, but do what you can." I was like, actually, we built a permaculture farm that feeds thousands of people for $50, so that's where it's going.
Yeah, man.
So like it's as simple as that.
How far
I'm going.
Go.
They don't.
Yeah.
For the record, I'm going to buy seeds, pumpkin seeds, zucchini seeds, seeds from vegetables. We're going to buy soil. We're going to go buy pots to put them in, and we're going to have a permaculture specialist who I'll give $10 to teach the kids how to grow fruits and vegetables within whatever area they're in. And then from now on, they're gonna be able to do that forever, because now they know how to do it. The vegetable and fruit grows, they take the seeds from that, they eat the fruits and vegetables, they plant the seeds again, and they have infinite food, because that's how the earth works.
That's how it should be.
I don't think people
It
know
can all
that.
be so simple.
It really can.
It literally can.
It's
Oh
really
my
sad.
God.
No one should have to pay for food.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's insane.
Isn't it crazy how they try to make us think the opposite? And I think we were all part of that at one point, including me. I was ignorant to the fact that, like, if you have property, you have a backyard with dirt and grass, you can probably feed yourself forever. There's no such thing as, there should be no such thing as hunger.
Yeah. Right.
And everybody's just like, oh, all this money, we need this many $1 million to end hunger. I did it by mistake for $50.
Yeah, but you didn't even plan on it going
I did not plan to build a permaculture farm.
Yeah.
Kids were hungry, only eating once a day.
That's
Right, but also kids here in America need to know how to plant and grow their own food too. I mean, I know the city. There's a lot of places in Brooklyn and New York City that started doing this like a decade ago, maybe 15 years ago, and that was a big push towards making things green and things like that. Right, adding more trees and those, so that we're more conscious about the environment, stuff like that. But education, growing. Yeah. I mean, even having a small couple pots with soil and growing things in your own, like on your balcony or in your backyard, stuff like that is important. Even tomatoes.
That's what school should be.
That is what school should have. I was just about to say, like, going off what Chuck just said, there's this place in I forget what part of Brooklyn where they recently built a community garden where everybody can just come and just see what they've grown together. Like they put seeds in like once a week in the summertime, and everybody gets to come and see what they grew, and everybody gets to take what they want for free.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, why can't we do that everywhere? That should be in schools.
A huge portion of the world's money should go to just feeding the world. Yeah. Like, who would be against that? You're part of the world,
Greedy
and you get to eat for free.
Yeah.
People
Why
want
can't
that money for
it's
themselves.
not profitable.
It's just
Who loses?
Well, you got to check out Brooklyn Grow NYC.
Brooklyn Grow.
And apparently they just built 100 new gardens, including Green Thumb Community Gardens. So that's very encouraging, not just for Brooklyn, but for every community in this country and around the world.
It needs to spread. That doesn't. We were just in my junior high school. Shout out to Memorial Junior High School in Valley Stream, where I went into 9th grade. And we're just looking around like, what? One, there should be more stimulation as far as the way a school looks, because it did look like a prison.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah. It looks like a prison. Yeah. And then you can just add, permaculture should be one of the on the curriculum. Like, we're learning so many silly things that just won't help you, but they don't teach us how to live, and that makes no sense to me. But I think people are getting more conscious of it. I think I say that like
more with the
once
internet.
a year.
The internet's getting everyone out there, I guess, more, but
because like the footprint that we talk about, like David, our friend David, like he was a meat eater, like he ate a lot of animals per year.
Okay.
And then Joe just recently like inspired him to become vegan. He just like cold turkey went vegan, and he loves it and enjoys it. You know how many things are alive? Or I don't know how it works.
Yeah,
but
I can't do vegan. I
can't either. I always tell Joe like I'm gonna do it tomorrow. But I'm just like,
I could
right
do
after
like
this
less
steak.
meat for sure. Like I don't need meat, but like
So going off that, you know what it is for
but
me?
eggs, I eat eggs every day. Like
Eggs, milk, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's not so much the animals; it's the way that it's being produced.
Yeah.
That mass production, the factory stuff kills me.
And 99% of every animal product is from a factory farm in America.
That kills me. That's the only part. If it was some other thing, like I would feel totally not guilty, because I love food. I really do.
I love. Oh my god! I just went to Catch in the city.
Yeah.
You can still love. I love food.
I know.
Do I not love food?
You do love food.
Do I
but
not?
I really love.
Like all
There's certain things I just love. Yeah, I just really love
that's
it.
the difference. I don't think animals are food. So that's the total
Somebody
Fish
said-
are friends.
Fish are friends. But I do like how many people have that attitude. I really appreciate that, and I always want to. I always want to figure out like what is the footprint that has been made in the last few years by that many Davids coming out.
Oh,
is that scalable? Like, can we like look that up?
There's got to be some research there.
Like,
but
how many did we shut any farms down?
Well, no. So the way they offset it is with like the best thing you can do for the environment is to have a vegan diet. Better than getting a Tesla. Better than getting solar on your house. The best thing you can do is go vegan because of just the stats, I guess, with that because like 50% of food that's grown is to feed the animals that we kill to eat.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So what if that food was just grown to feed everyone instead of...
It just sounds so stupid.
Right? It's so dumb. Why can't that food just go to feed the people instead of knocking down Amazon rainforest to plant soy to feed the cows that we kill to eat? Yeah. And we're only looking for the nutrition that's in the soy. We're not even looking for the nutrition of the cow. The cow gets the nutrition. Go to the thing the cow's getting the nutrition from.
It makes sense. But here we are, eating steak.
Yeah. That goes.
That gets me lit.
Yeah, I know. You're very passionate about that. Did I have any more questions for Miss Momo?
Oh, I don't know.
We have 6 minutes left.
6 minutes. Okay, boxing. Is boxing an energy outlet for you, like a negative energy outlet, or you just love it as the sport?
Yeah, do you picture like beating the shit out of like someone, like an ex-boyfriend?
I literally, I'm a lover, not a fighter, but if provoked, I will hurt you. But I've been an athlete all my life, and I like finding new things to do because I get bored from working out at the gym. Like I like to, learn a new skill. But like honestly, I really fell in love with boxing this past year. It's like it's an energy. I just like the fact that my coach always pushes me to be better, but I also push myself to be like the best version of myself.
You go in,
from last time. Yeah, if I do something, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it 100%.
Damn, I see you flipping tires.
But like, I really don't want to like fight anyone, but like I just want to be ready in case something were to pop off.
I think you're ready.
Like I ain't looking stupid. But I definitely like I would be down to like spar, but like I don't want to take it at like career.
Yeah, like career.
To a career level.
Would you do like a competition? Like
can't mess up the moneymaker here.
No,
so
okay.
So I'm writing the script.
It's funny. I just got my finger dislocated the other day.
When you said you were going to get hurt.
I did. See, I put it to the damn universe. I did say that.
You manifested
I was like,
that shit.
I did. What an
he
idiot.
texted me, I'm about to go get my ass beat.
Yeah. It's like, damn it. Did. Yeah, I did. Like my finger dislocated and my wrist just hurts. I got worked out. Shout out to Corey. Thank you for that. I miss. Yeah.
Wait, who's Corey?
So I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, but I started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu 5 years ago. And I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu now. Fell out of love with it because of certain negative people. Oh, that sucks. And so I used to go train hard 7 days a week, 2 a day, 6 a.m. and then 7 p.m.
What?
3 classes.
Why?
Fighting I loved it.
No, yeah.
All of my friends
I want to
martial arts
move on to like other
grappling. Like Taekwondo is just like movie stuff. Sorry for people that love it. Honestly though,
I actually took a Taekwondo class with this guy.
If a skinny girl
like,
fights a grown man in like Taekwondo and you kick him, he's just gonna be like, "Ha, that was cute." But in jiu-jitsu, I get beat up by I'm 189 pounds. I get my ass beat by 114-pound females.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Yeah. So that's what jiu-jitsu is about.
Jiu-jitsu. All right,
yeah, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna look into it.
So recently, I just decided that I'm gonna search to go back and finally get back into it, just to get in shape and just to have that energy release, negative energy release, to put it somewhere. And I texted Joe because this place, Sucker Free Jiu-Jitsu, is near his house. I was like, "Oh, I'm actually coming near your house to go here." He's like, "Oh yeah, go kick some ass." I was like, "No, I haven't trained in like a year and a half. I'm gonna get washed today, and now my goddamn finger's broken." Got
It's
it.
crooked.
I did manifest that.
Yeah, you put that one out
It's
there.
all right.
right.
That'll be probably my next endeavor.
I think
I
you would
definitely
love
want to try.
You
I
would
can
love
see
it.
Why
it.
not?
What's next for everyone? We got like
What's
3
everyone's
minutes.
next move?
Yeah, next move.
2020, just kind of get the script done, continue boxing, continue creating content, and
Collabs.
agent collabs. Only Love Foundation.
Yeah, I
Let's
was
go to
about to
Africa.
say that.
What's next?
I'm gonna make $100,000 for Only Love next year. It's like already happening.
Hey.
Every time you put something on camera,
Yeah.
it happens.
Oh my God, it does.
Yeah,
$1 million.
You gotta manifest them.
This happened last time.
Speak it into existence.
We're going to Guatemala in March. Bringing more than the maximum amount of people. We're gonna spark the travel company for 2021 to be a lucrative, very profitable company. So that's what I'm gonna be working on all year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No resolution. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing because it's been working.
I don't do that. I don't do
Yeah.
resolutions anymore.
Me
It's like
either.
just start right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
just
know
do
what
it.
I mean? Yeah, just do it.
All right, Rizzo,
Chuck.
what's yours?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
All right, then we'll go to Chuck after me. We could end with Chuck.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
perfect. No, for me, we're looking into right now to make a documentary in the Amazon. That's supposed to be at the end of February into March. So we're looking into that to investigate soy plantations because fuck that.
I'm scared.
So I want to try and exploit that. I got
that's-
some.
Cause fuck that. I like that.
Yeah.
Just do it
Yeah.
and cause fuck that.
Yeah. And I got some spy glasses. So we'll see.
Okay. Spy Kids over here.
And then, of course, everything else with Only Love, working on the movies. I want to get consistent with the podcast, Chuck. And, yeah, that's it. Chuck, what are you working on?
We've got a lot of things on the stove, no pun intended.
Ooh.
We got some puppet shows you got right now in between
Cooking in the kitchen.
MoMo and Rizzo. We have Calvin Pup. He's the director of Fun. His show is going to be coming out pretty soon. Craig is holding Jimmy. Jimmy just did his pilot cooking show. Hi. And then we have about 9 other characters that are going to be doing some really cool stuff. And but along with our event production equipment, clients, and things down in D.C., Virginia, down in Miami, out in L.A., now because of MoMo. And all that is all good. Plus, we got Taylor Speech. We have that thing coming up. That's another podcast event, and Rizzo on the Move also, and also
Love
Live
it.
Mike and a few others.
Sounds like a lot.
Everybody's
we're gonna
everybody's
juggle this.
busy.
Yeah, and we met those really awesome guys at the last show we just did.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll give a shout out to Kel Spencer and all the fellas from his group.
Yeah.
A couple of those fellas want to do some podcasts, bringing in some R&B artists and some other jazz musicians and stuff like that on some interesting podcasts. It's going to be great.
Hell yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Momo,
Yo.
thank you.
Thank you guys. This was fun. We finally did it.
I know.
We
Finally
finally
met.
did a podcast together back in New York.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait for all the accomplishments we make this year in 2020.
Yeah, I got to head out to you, too, and do one over there.
Hell yeah.
I'm coming.
Viper Studios.
coming.
Thank
Viper
you.
Studios.
Peace.
Thank you.